Yo, man, bro, please, in the comments section today, please give me a caps lock yo in the comments, man. Bro, I've bought every color walk compendium. One Piece has my favorite color pages in anything. I have several of them up on my wall. I have another one back here. I mean, I love the color pages in this story. But this one right here, man, takes it, bro. This one right here takes it, dog. I saw when I logged in on my Shonen Jump app to read the last chapter that they were doing a cup noodle advertisement. So they had Luffy with the cup noodle. I was like, okay, shout out to the Hungry Days. But when I sat down, I downloaded it, and the moment I pressed on it, I saw this. I grabbed my camera immediately. I grabbed my camera. Bro, this is by far. I mean, I don't want to see something I'm gonna regret. Nah, screw it, bro. This is the goal. This is the S tier of color pages, bro. It is in the S. Oh, but bro, this is gonna be my phone wallpaper, my computer lock screen. I might have to print this out, man. Dog, this is beautiful, bro. If you follow me on Twitter, or if you have been watching the Recon Piece episodes ever since they started dropping these Hungry Days Cup Noodle commercials, y'all know how much I love these, man. This is my favorite extension of the One Piece manga and anime that there is. Out of anything I've ever watched, my favorite YouTube video of all time is the 5-minute version of the Hungry Days commercial, where they have a lot of the Straw Hats journeys within the series done in the Hungry Days art style, with the bump of chicken music. It's the one that's like the one outlier out of all of them. Like all of them are like 30-second advertisements, but that one in particular is 5 minutes of unadulterated greatness. And it shows everybody, and that's my favorite YouTube video that there is, man. I have rewatched that so many times. And to see the king next to the king, yo, the school days, the slice of life, king, with his face showing, which we had been wanting to see his face throughout all of those. I finally saw the Marineford commercial, but nah, man, this is the GOAT, dude. This is the GOAT, man. That bro. Yo, put him up. Put up the phone fingers. Put up the Santa hats. If Oda ever, I mean, eventually, this color page will get topped, because there's gonna come some color pages, I'm pretty sure, down the line that are gonna be out of this world. Especially towards the end of the series in the Final War. I understand that. But for right now, man, and I mean this wholeheartedly, I own so many, and so many means so much to me. The chapter 710 color page, because that's the first chapter that I ever reviewed on the channel. So just chapter 710 color page with like Kung Fu Luffy and the rest of them and their really nice outfits is a color page that means a lot to me. The 2014 color page from Dressrosa, when it has them as like kids and adults. The chapter 598 color page, which is basically Romance Dawn just redone again. You know, there's a lot of incredible color pages that stick out to me. Some of the first ones post time skip are really beautiful. A lot of the ones pre time skip are also really beautiful. But if I ever got an HD version of this, I'd put that on my door. I might even plaque it and put it in the living room, man. And when people come into the crib and like, yo, what is this? I'm gonna be like, yo, sit down. Let me tell y'all about the best-selling manga in history. Let me tell you about the series that is nearly the second best-selling comic of all time. Batman's watching us back. Superman's watching us back. You want to know why? Because this is the one, the only. We are here today to read the latest installment in the Wano Awesome Sauce. I gotta watch my voice, but at this point, Hungry Days, I don't care. Because it's One Piece. I managed to whisper yell it. That felt good. It's been a long time, man, but I had to do it. I had to do it for this one. I had to do it for this one, man. Just, it's so beautiful, bro. In the front, you have all of the Strats as we know them in their manga version. In the background, we have the Hungry Days versions, and the two kings, right, dude? This is the color page, man. Yo, every platform that I have, from Discord to Twitter to, if I would change my YouTube one, but the Jing is pretty much me at this point, so I don't think I'm ever gonna change that. But if I could, I'd probably put this somewhere. This is gorgeous, man. This is what I'm talking about, bro. That's amazing. Now what we need is either an actual anime, even though that would be extremely hard, because I guarantee you those 30-second commercials probably took them, you know, very, very long time in order to do. There was a lot of intricate planning and detailing that went into those. You could just tell from the level of quality, right? But just amazing, amazing stuff. And if they ever decide to make like a short film out of it, that would be awesome sauce, man. You know what I'm saying? That would be awesome. So see, I'm already starting to lose my voice, bro, but for Hungry Days, for the king, dude. Look at that, 3 kings, dog. I got this right here, the 2A. I'd risk it, man. Hungry Days. Let's get into the chapter, bro. I can't believe this exists, man. I can't believe that this exists, and I didn't know about it until now, bro. Yo, I'm so happy that none of y'all sent me this beforehand, man. Because of course I would have lost my mind, but here, I was actually able to like show y'all my raw, you know, feedback for this. Cause I'll tell ya, bro, like I said, man, this is just gonna be like just like the last couple of days. I was gonna sit down, I downloaded the chapter, I opened it up, I set up the camera, and then when I looked back down, and I saw, I pressed it. I pressed play immediately. I pressed the red button faster than I think I've ever pressed it. I was like, bro, it's time. Amazing, amazing color page, man. Let's get into the chapter. Thank y'all so much, man, by the way, because we're finally, with this chapter, we'll be caught up once again. And I want to thank y'all so much for supporting me in these last couple of daily reactions, man. The support has been unreal. The amount of kind words and like I said before, with the advice, the inspiration, just the overall support that I've seen in the past few days it means a lot to me. And just, you know, I make a lot of long videos, especially when it comes to this series. So the fact that a lot of y'all have come back on a daily basis to watch these means a lot to me, man. It really, really does. So for the last one, until we get right back into it next week, because I believe there's a chapter dropping next Sunday. Can't wait for that. But for last time in this daily binge, here we go, chapter 972. So Lord Odin's been keeping us safe all this time. Dog, this chapter, or the 971, man, with this that was going down, that junk hit, dude. When I went to bed that night, I was just thinking the entire time, like, God, you know, just the entire flashback leading up to that moment. But those moments in particular from 971, man, I mean, they hit hard, man. And we see that we're still continuing there. Shinobu, the tears still coming down her face. You can't just review all this stuff right now. It's too much for my emotions to process. Your emotions can take a back seat to the facts, my boy. Because y'all had been a part of this entire group of just, you know, continuously bringing down Odin, bringing down Odin, bringing down Odin. So you know what? The truth had to be told. Y'all are all fools. Simple as that. Y'all didn't want to accept it. Shinobu brought on the facts because she was tired of it. She was tired of seeing this man who had given so much for his people continue to get buried by everyone else, man. I am Odin and I was born to boil, bro. What a chapter title. Yo, with a chapter title like that, I don't even have to change my YouTube title. That might just be the YouTube title, bro. The truth will only cause confusion, Shinobu. It's the only Wabanshu. All they need to know is that the fool of a lord who defied the shogun will die. It's like what he's saying is, you told them way more than they need to know. Because in Odin's eyes, he never gave a flag noise about any of that. He could have, this entire situation could have passed. And it wouldn't have mattered a single second, a single ounce, to Odin that everyone would have known, because to him, it's not about the glory or the praise that he would have gotten for such a thing. It's the fact that he genuinely cares and wanted to do the deed, man. That he did all. Odin. Fukuro Kuju. We see Shinobu look back. This is an excellent panel. I'm sure you knew that speaking up would come at a great cost. I've decided to join my fate to theirs, life or death. I am Lord Odin's mess. Oh, shit. Shinobu, dude. Let's go. I will not follow you. If anything should happen to them, then I will die along with Kozuki. Let's go, Shinobu, but it won't come to that. We'll all survive this and we'll strike you down in your dreams. Malicious Flagnard, man. I thought that these guys were, you know, had at the very least a sense of duty to the man who should be shogun. You know, with the Oniwabanshu, I understand that the Oniwabanshu are there to protect the current shogun and to carry out his duties at will, no matter the cost. I understand that, you know, no matter who the current shogun is. And I know how important that is for retainers, especially the Oniwabanshu, to do that. I definitely understand that. But in this case, I thought that he, at the very least, after hearing that from Shinobu, he would have some sort of emotion coming after that. And maybe he does, and we just don't see it, because he's there just to carry out his duty. And by the Flagners, is not leaving a good impression on me, man. Shogun Orochi, please stop this execution, I beg of you. I beseech you too, and me. And now all the people who were talking down and calling him a foolish lord and everything are now begging for his life, man. And the same individuals get struck by arrows. And they yell, they've been shot with arrows, we must help them. Orochi, man. This dude, in the midst of all of this, in the midst of all, this right here is a representation of what Wano is as a place, man. You know, anything that goes against what the people should know immediately either gets erased or they just don't bring it up. Because anybody who does bring it up is going to get killed, as we just saw. You know, going back to what the teacher was saying back in, I believe that was chapter 920 as well. Or what was that, 920? It was 919 or 920. With the teacher teaching the class of students and telling them about how, you know, about the certain events that took place within history, and how we know that they basically twisted it to fit their own agenda, right? Which is something normal. It's something that still happens today. But that is a true representation of what Wano is. Especially when you have a guy like Orochi at the head. A person who wants all power. A person who wants nothing but power to exact his revenge, and will do anything at that cost in order to do so. Even the manipulation of knowledge and the manipulation of... Dude, if a normal country with a quote-unquote normal ruler manipulates the knowledge that goes out to the public, then 10,000-fold will a man like Orochi manipulate the individual's minds and the overall perception of the way that he's supposed to, of the way that everything is. You know, with just this one scenario. Oh, these certain individuals spoke up and they got shot. What do you think everybody else is going to say? They're just going to stay quiet because they don't want to die. Flipping Flagnards, man. Shinobu looks back, yells Orochi. The crowd instantly understood the threat a madman bent on revenge posed to them. Exactly. Silence trash. My mans didn't say people. I didn't say silent humans. He said silent trash. And Odin is still there, holding his retainers, bro. They realized that the man undergoing the extended execution they'd been watching was in fact the one shining hope for Wano. And you guys continued to call this man a fool. The people suddenly noticed they were surrounded by Kairo Orochi's men bristling with weapons. And Kairo Orochi's men are basically there for if there's a riot or a public outcry, they're going to put a stop to it immediately. The reason for Odin's 5-year stretch of odd behavior spread throughout the crowd like wildfire, and it's like everyone is starting to find out the truth. And he was actually saving us. He was doing more than just that, dog. He wasn't just trying to save y'all, he was trying to save the future generations of Wano. He was trying to ensure the safety and the prosperity of this country for years to come. Man, we look so stupid now. I'm glad I didn't say it. I'm glad they understand. It spurred the people into motion. They shot the urgent news to the various castles of the land. Well, they literally shot it, with a piece of paper and just sent it off flying. The letter arrows of Wano crossed great distances to send messages. And you see Yasui right here. It's just something he already knew. Yasui, Toki, his retainers, these are characters that knew the man that Odin is. And they understood the type of individual that Odin is. And thus, because of that, they knew that Odin wouldn't do something like this for no reason. So they had no reason to either go against him or no reason to mistrust him. No reason to say, oh, he's just doing that because he lost his mind. No. Odin is not that type of individual, and they know this. Yasui has known Odin for such a long time, and so is the retainers. They know the type of man that Odin always has been, and he continues to grow as a man as time progresses. So it's within the core of his very being. When people meet him even once, they will know that type of person that he is. So to Yasui, it should come to no surprise. The boiling oil in the pot passed 700 degrees, man. I worked in a restaurant for 6 years, man. And a lot of that was spent next to an oven that was really, really hot at 450 degrees. Because 450 degrees is the temperature in which you need in order for the pan that it is on to be disinfected with germs. So it would boil at 450 degrees, of course, also to ensure that the food was cooked at a correct heat in order to get it out at a certain amount of time. So I know how hot 450 degrees is, man. I've touched that with my bare hands. And you can barely hold on to that for just a few seconds. Odin is sitting in it. Have you guys ever gone into a beach or a cruise or some place with a lot of water, right? Or a pool, whatever the case may be. And it's just freezing cold, right? It's like really, really, really cold. So you get on first with your lower half, and you have to throw yourself in completely, because if not, it's gonna suck if you're just sitting there with just your lower half, because it's gonna be freezing. You feel me? You can't get in there slowly. At least for me, when it's really, really cold, I gotta dive in. I ain't just gonna go down slow. I gotta dive in. This man Odin, with his lower half in the boiling oil, bro, past 700 degrees and continued to rise, and he's still there, bro, holding his retainers. Just look at his face, man. It's like that's a face of somebody who has not given up. But that's also a face of somebody whose spirit is surpassing his capabilities as a human being, man. Please, Lord Odin, survive this torment. Lord Odin, hang in there, Lord Odin. We're sorry for insulting you. We were ignorant. Thank you for protecting us, Lord Odin. Oh, now they care. For real, Kinemon, dog. Or Kawamatsu, whoever said that. How convenient for them. Ignore them, my lord. Thank you all. I will persevere. When you read something like that, man, it's so inspiring, right? I I mean, here's Odin, this person who did so much for these people. These people continued and continued and continued to berate him for so long. They were even waiting for this execution. They said it was taking too long. And now at finding out the truth, they immediately turn. They start supporting him. And when his retainers were like, man, now y'all care? The very first instant, the very first response that Odin had, his initial response, was a thank you and words of encouragement that he will persevere. So not only is he appreciative, like a hero, he's saying, I got this. What a man, dude. I mean, truly, what an inspirational character. What an inspirational being. Just the embodiment of what we should strive to be, bro. Listen to me. If I manage to survive this boiling, I would like to open up this country. The borders. What's he blabbing about? You said that before, my lord, that the Kozuki clan had something to do with our closed policy. What did you learn out there on the Great Wild Sea? Long, long ago, the ones responsible for closing this nation to the rest of the world were the Kozuki clan. The Kozuki clan, the same ones who wrote the Poneglyphs, were the ones who are completely responsible for closing this nation to the rest of the world. Completely responsible, not just partly, not halfly. I mean, of course, we don't know the true history, but Odin figured out, because he would know it is the true history, because he knows it. He knows it 100%. He went, he saw the One Piece, he knows the Void Century, he wrote it, he said it. He knows what happened. And because he knows what happened, this is the truth. This is the red truth. Long, long ago, the ones responsible for closing this nation to the rest of the world were the Kozuki clan. And it was to protect Wano from a great external power. To protect Wano from a great external power. So to protect Wano from great external power. And then they also passed knowledge on for generations, created a stone to pass that knowledge. And this knowledge is so many different things. Weapons, history, the location of certain things. It's all for the protection of the people of Wano from a great external power. Is the Messenger Sama, the world government, the ancient kingdoms, the ancient weapons? I mean, so many different factors. Wano know the entire world awaits a figure. And when that figure appears after an 800-year span, this country must be prepared to the king. I gotta read that again, but I give me chills. Wanna know the entire world awaits a figure. And when that figure appears after an 800-year span, this country must be prepared to welcome and work with them. I will be clear with you. They're going to kill me today. He knew he's known it for all along, bro. He knows that he's not an idiot, dog. No, you can withstand the boiling. You're already a third of the way through. I want you to open up Wano and my steed, carry on my will. Then we should join Lord Onin, and his mouth gets covered. Your dream is our dream. Raizo. Your dream is our dream. Well said. 30 minutes left. By this point, it was a hell where even the heat haze was lethal. The boiling oil burned Odin's skin. How was he still alive? Raise the heat. But Odin did not die. 10 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Is he impervious to heat or something? He's just continuing and continuing to persevere because his resolve, his spirit is surpassing his bodily, his capabilities, man, what it can handle. 1 more minute, 10 seconds, 3 seconds, 1 second. He did it. It's a miracle he survived the execution. Lord Odin did it. He withstood the boiling, man, for an hour, bro. Thank goodness Lord Odin's won. He cleared the misunderstanding. The country's on his side again. You're in for it now, Kaido. Don't wind him up, cat. Why shouldn't I? A win's a win. You see Neko and Ino, they're celebrating. So let me get this straight, man. Kaido fooled them once. He fooled them twice. Both times in head-to-head confrontations. He lived to survive another day. Classic heel maneuver. But then, after witnessing a being do that, after witnessing a man do what he just did, stand in boiling, extremely hot, the core. This man is literally standing in the core of a boiling pot in the center as it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, lifting up his retainers so that they don't have to suffer. All because of a deal he made with Kaido. And he's still not going to uphold his end of the bargain? I need this to happen, man. I don't care if plot holes are made. I don't care how ridiculous it is. I don't care if Oda breaks the rules of comics or his own power scaling. I don't give a flying flag. When Luffy steps on the battlefield and he activates this stance and Conqueror's Haki goes off, he better whoop the Flagnards out of Kaido, dog. This is just ridiculous, man. This is just ridiculous. Like, I'm a fan of villains. I absolutely adore them. I love when they do sicko stuff like this. But when you're doing it, when you're doing sicko stuff to my boy Odin, that ain't passing, dog. That ain't passing. That ain't passing, man. That ain't. This flipping Flagnard, man. I changed my mind. I'll alter the sentence to death by firing squad. Oh, bro, I want Kenzoro, Hiyori, someone cut this dude in half, bro. And the entire clan gets put to death too. The entire clan. What kind of childish nonsense? That wasn't the deal. Lord upheld the... And he shot him on sight. So it's Orochi. I thought it was Kaido that handed out the order. Orochi was the one that handed out the order. But the fact that Kaido's sitting next to him not doing a single thing. It's like it is that classic manager versus manager and like very strong individual that's alongside them. But the manager is the one doing all the talking. Knowing damn well if he was by himself he wouldn't be doing all this talking. Dude got shot on sight for rebuttaling. Do it for me. Open Wano's borders. And he tosses them in the air. Yo, my guy. My guy said, do it for me. Open Wano's borders. And I don't know how he has the strength to do it, but he launches them in the air. They go flying. They are all out of harm's way. Run to Kuri. And everyone is crying their eyes out, bro. But they understand what Odin just did. Don't turn back. That was a fascinating story. You just said. And you see Odin, bro. It's when we first met Kinemon. Kozuki, Odin, Denjiro. Shoot them all after them. Wipe out the name of Kozuki. Either way, your body's already dead. I'll do you a kindness and put you out of your misery. And now the age of Kazuki is over for good, you'll all die. This is all coming from Kaido. Don't make the mistake of underestimating. My man's hit him with, don't make the mistake of underestimating our samurai. Yo, Lord Odin, I didn't say you could eat. That's our pot of Odin. You little freak. I give. Are you the bandit they're talking about? It's just Rise, oh Lord Odin. Lord Odin. So you're the boss of Kuti, I should have told you. And yo, they respected each other so much, man. Living Flagnars, bro. Kawamatsu, Manny Narashi, Nekomamushi, dog. Yo, this hurts, man. Shame on all of you. Your fear of the alien exposes your own ignorance. I'm so hungry. It's because you all lent out. It's because you lent out all the money. Okay, go steal some food then. Is that what a daimyo says? My guy's like, yo, I'm not gonna let my people starve to death. You know what I'm saying, bro? I don't give a flying flatness if we're breaking morality itself. My people are gonna survive. They will speak of you for years to come, saying that you died a spectacular death. When you have Kaido saying that, bro, the man who has done so many things for Odin, and yet, yo, I take back what I just said, man. You know, and what I said, I think it was during the 970 reaction. That pretty much Kaido doesn't respect a man's honor. But by God, we see right here that there is a limit breaking point to that, man. Kaido respects it, bro. But who couldn't, bro? I mean, Orochi's a sick in the head bastard. But Kaido, a man who's gone out there and fought with these legends, he fought alongside Rocks. He fought alongside Whitebeard. He fought alongside Big Mom. He fought Roger. He fought Garp. Like, he knows, and he should have this knowledge of respect. He respects strength. And to me, Kaido, that should mean if you respect strength, that means you respect both physical strength and strength in spirit. And so I was like, man, why doesn't Kaido respect Odin's strength? But it looks like finally it wasn't Odin's strength, his physical strength, that really, you know, made Kaido respect it. It was his spiritual, his inner spirit that really made him realize, like, yo, you were that dude, son. They will speak of you for years to come, saying that you died a spectacular death. They can forget me for all I care. My soul. I gotta experience this with my own two eyes, bro. This is too goat. My soul will live on. I'm sorry about what happened with the old hag. I had her killed. How upright of you. Build your strength while you can. For I am a story to accompany your drinks. I am Odin, and I was born. And he puts out his hands. Toki Momonosuke Hiyori, I should be the first to leave. And he gets shot in the head. And he breaks down, bro, and he falls into the water. The very people who continued and continued and continued and continued to berate him for so many years. For 5 years, the people that he cared about so much, to the point that he didn't care if they remembered him at all. He wanted them to live, man. And when he couldn't finish off a sentence, when he was shot in the head and brought down into the pot, set it in its place. I was born. And the whole country stated to boil. Wow, man. Wow, bro. Yo. Man, dude. This one hurts, man. This one hurts, man, and wow, man. Kozuki Odin, bro. Y'all know something, dog. The reason why I love characters like Luffy and Snake and Gintoki, Chihaya, so many of these characters that have such a strong will inside that it feels like no matter what happens, they stay true to themselves, and instead of themselves, you know, they may change in little bits and ways, but it's all to progress forward in who they still are at the core. But it feels like even when people are doubting them, and even when people are going against them, at the end of the day, same thing with characters like Yang and Reinhardt, like these legends, at the end of the day, because of what they do and because they live what they preach and because they are who they say they are and their convictions are as strong as what they are, they continue moving forward whether you like it or not. And at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, everyone comes to respect them out of it. You feel me? That's how strong their convictions are, man. I love characters like that. That is the core basis of every single one of my favorite characters. It's something that I think not only myself, but so many of us strive to be. You know, individuals that we live on with our convictions, man. We live on, we pursue forward, living our lives, trying to chase our dreams, trying to go down our path and our journey in life. And even though, like always, there will be individuals that will say this about you, say that you can't do this, you can't do that, just like they did for Odin the first time, they eventually came to respect that man, bro. And they eventually came to see how he truly is, even whenever they braided him and disrespected him again. And even in the midst of all that, we saw a true individual, a true being who put others before himself, and it wasn't always like that. He allowed the influence of other great individuals, other great mentors. These mentors that we learn so much from, man. You know, anybody who's gone down any sort of path and any sort of journey, we all have our mentors that we look up to and have taught us so much. Right? No matter what it is, a mentor could even be an object, it could be a book, it could be a thing, right? So many different things. But at the end of the day, those mentors, even though we may not notice it at first, they change us. And we see how Odin, even though he's always had these core aspects to him, certain things, we saw what the journeys and the adventure of Roger and Whitebeard did to this man and changed him in terms of really appreciating the other individuals around him. And even though he was always like that, we do get to see how much of a man he's become over time. And I just absolutely adore how he structured this flashback to where everything led up to this statement right here, man. To the point to where Odin couldn't even finish off a statement because he was executed before so. And the people, the very people that he did so much to protect, said a statement that he himself couldn't hear because he was already dead. The respect that they all gave at once, man. They finished off a statement for him. I am Odin. And just like Odin as the food, I was born to boil, man. This series has a lot of phenomenal flashbacks, and I'm sure there are phenomenal flashbacks to come. But as of right now, this is without question my favorite flashback in the story, and some of my favorite content. Like, these volumes will go down as like some of my favorite stretches of chapters in the story, man. I continue to say it over and over and over again that Wano is going to end up being one of my favorite arcs. And with every single chapter that comes out, it really makes me believe it's going to end up being #1, man. This stuff is too beautiful, bro. This stuff is so inspirational, man. This stuff is... I mean, what a beat, what a figure, what a character. Odin, dog. And right here, dun, 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 and he's smiling even in... I didn't see that. And you see everyone's tears. Man, dude, he smiled, yo. Kozuki D-O or O-D-N. Give me an O-D-N in the chat, man. And so ended one legend, to be carried on by the players of the next stage. My lady have reserved word of Lord Odin's death. They say it was a tremendous end. Toki, I have reached my limit. If I fail to defeat him, there will be no others who can stop Kaido for a long time. Over 20 years ahead of us, there will likely be a massive war terrible enough to split the seas themselves. In other words, in another 20 years, the primary figures of this great war will muscle their way into the new world. They are the ones who can strike down Kaido. A long winter will settle over Wano. And Toki's known about this for so long, bro. Right here you see Momo and Hiyori. Momo todavía está llorando. I want you to use your power, Toki, if I should die. And she rips up the paper. Please give the children these swords. It sounds dangerous. Aren't you sad it's a death sentence? Who said you were going to die? That's my wife. Yo, Toki believed in him until the very end. I'd be a laughing stock if anyone saw me crying. We are not your weakness. Bro, that's a beautiful line, dog. We are not your weakness. And you see the tears coming down her face. This strong person, man. Look ahead, Odin, to 20 years in the future. The story hurtles toward the present day. Toward the present day? Has he seen the flashback? Next chapter, it's March 1st. If this is the end of the flashback, at least for now, because I'm sure they're going to show us stuff. If this truly is the end of the flashback for now, I'm sure they're going to show us some more stuff later on the line for the actual day itself. Whenever, you know, Toki sent them into the future. But for right now, that was the perfect ending, bro. This is such a beautiful... It's Toki. I want you to use your power, Toki, if I should die. She rips up the paper. Please give the children these swords. It sounds dangerous. Aren't you sad? It's a death sentence. Who said you were going to die? That's my wife who starts laughing. I'd be a laughing stock if anyone saw me crying. We are not your weakness. And bro, with tears in her eyes, holding it in as much as she can, dog. Look ahead, Odin, to 20 years in the future. The story hurtles toward the present day. Oh my goodness, man. Wow, bro. Hold on, give me a second, man. Give me a second. If y'all have watched my Recon Piece segments, Y'all know that one of my favorite soundtracks in the entire series is Golden Odin. And that was playing through my head the entire time while I was reading this chapter. Bro, I can't get over this panel. We are not your weakness. And this panel, yo, with Toki crap. That perfectly encapsulates just everything, man. Come on. Alright. I'm listening to Golden Odin, man. And I'm gonna go back. What a beautiful soundtrack. Dun, 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 dun. This is a top 2 soundtrack in One Piece for me, man. And now, when I think of it, I'm gonna think of my boy, man. What a legend, what a phenomenal character, what an amazing arc, what an amazing character arc and story arc. This stuff was hitting hard, man. Shinobu giving everything that she had. Risking it all, man. Saying, screw y'all, dog. The people actually coming to appreciate him in his final moments, man. But Odin never cared even a single second about that type of stuff. And holding them up in his arms, he continued to hold them, man, and said thank you to all of those who blasted him for so long, man. Even giving the hope, saying, I will persevere. And then he states something from the Void Century, man. That long, long ago, the ones responsible for closing this nation to the rest of the world, the Kozuki clan, and it was to protect Wano from a great external power all those years ago. And now they're waiting. The entire world awaits a figure. They're waiting for the king. He tells him to open up Wano in his stead. That's gonna be one of the most beautiful scenes in all of One Piece when it happens, man. Open Wano's borders. And he launched them. And they all left and cried, and the way that this was structured was so beautiful. Because as one ran and cried, you saw their flashback next to it. It reminded me of a movie. Just really, really well put together panels. The panel structure was on point. Just amazing, amazing chapter, man. And showing everyone and their relationship, how the relationship started and how deep the relationship was with Odin. And even Kaido, man. But I'm just so happy Oda gave Kaido this moment. Because after chapter 970, I was like, man, Kaido's gonna be a really... He's gonna end up being one of those monster heels with a mentality that it will take anything to win. It's like, imagine having a monster heel like a... I don't know, man. Like a Brock, right? Just this big, bad dude. Paul Heyman by his side. But with the brains and the opportunistic mindset of an Edge in his prime as a heel, right? And I imagine having somebody like that, now that's dangerous. But I also wanted Kaido, because he was first introduced in the manner that he was, I always thought his story arc was going to be his character arc was going to be very, very special in terms of the way that he was. And after chapter 923, I thought we were going down that route. Because I saw that in the midst of all of that, even though Luffy lost in the way that he did, it kind of felt like he gained a new level of respect for Luffy for challenging him the way that he did, and even respected his strength so much he wanted him to join his crew. So I was like, Kaido obviously respects strength. Which is why I thought we were going to get a moment of respect between him and Oda in this flashback. But what Oda showed me is exactly what Kaido needs. Because Kaido... he's met a lot of strong human beings. He's met a lot of strong people. But at the end of the day, what Kaido needs is somebody who's strong in spirit to truly be his adversary. Because I feel like Kaido has, or he's one of the, or it states he's the strongest creature in the world, right? But not in spirit. You feel me? Like, he's physically probably the strongest, but not in spirit, which goes into the way that he was introduced, right, in this chapter, trying to take himself out. So with that being said, the perfect thing, the thing that Kaido respected him for, was not for his physical strength. Kaido came to have a moment of respect of Odin because of his inner strength, man. Something that Kaido is still searching for. Inner strength defeats physical strength. And who else has that insane inner strength that we know of? The king. And I think that is going to come into fruition in that final battle, where we're going to get a situation in a moment where Luffy is going to be fighting up against them, and he's going to pretty much like have that moment of respect, like just like Odin. I respect you for the strength that you possess, man, both physically and from an inner strength, which is exactly, it is the perfect adversary for a character like Kaido, right? Because Odin was a true man of honor. You know that Luffy would have done the same thing in this situation. But I just love how Oda gave Kaido that one small panel. It will speak of you for years to come, seeing that you died a spectacular death. Like, even after all that he did, I absolutely love that Oda gave him that panel, because that one panel, that one line, brings everything back down again. To where, like, at the end of the day, Kaido is just like anyone else. To where he's searching for something, and that's something he's searching for is A, reason to live, and B, strength. Which he's probably thinking of just being physically strong, but what he actually needs is inner strength. And I love that. I really, really do. They can forget me for all I care. My soul will live on. I am a story to accompany your drinks. I am Odin, and I was born. He does the pose. He gets shot, goes right down. And everyone yells to boil, bro. What a beautiful moment. So in one legend, Toki gets the word, and in an absolutely incredible final panel to this entire stretch of chapters, and to this flashback, which I'm going to assume for the time being, is Toki with tears barely going down her face, saying, "I'd be a laughing stock if anyone saw me crying. We are not your weakness." That's such a beautiful, flipping thought, dude. Look ahead, Odin, to 20 years in the future. The story hurtles toward the present day. I don't know if that means that we're going to be going back to the present day when next chapter comes out, but by the heavens, if this is the end of this flashback, once again, I'm going to reiterate it again, my favorite flashback in the story, some of my favorite stretches of chapters in the entire series, and just another addition into why I truly believe that by the end of this arc, Wano's going to be my favorite arc so far, man. Amazing, amazing. So I love this panel with Toki, bro. I love this. And of course the Odin stuff, man. I mean, my goodness, dude. What a legendary character. A character that truly lived up to his name as a legend. Now when I think back to chapter 920, I understand why they did all those reactions, man. The fact that Oda was preparing us. Oda was telling us what was coming. But that didn't stop it from hurting as much as it did, man. Amazing, amazing, amazing chapter. Can't wait for the next chapter. We are all caught up. What a chapter to catch up on, man. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, bro. Wow. Amazing chapter, man. Golden Odin, baby. So beautiful, man. It's like, even though it's such an emotional moment, for me, it's really, it's like that moment of like Flagnar's, this man did something similar to Roger, to where when he died, he inspired so many others to carry on his will. You know what I'm saying? And he died with a smile, dude. Like, Odin greatness, man. Amazing, amazing chapter, bro. Can't wait for the next one. Goat peace, man. I will see y'all next time. Have an awesome sauce of a day. I'll hope to, now that I'm caught up to the One Piece manga, My priority is to then catch up to Chiafuru, which I have 2 episodes left. After that, I'm gonna get back on the One Piece anime and the Haikyuu anime. So, looking forward to getting back on the One Piece anime as well. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So that I can finally see Komurasaki moving and whatever Yori, as we know, moving and whatnot, and hearing the voice. Even though if I'm mistaken, I think I heard her voice actress in Treasure Cruise, but I don't recall very well what it sounds like. But regardless, we'll move, man. But amazing chapter, dude. Wow. I will see you all next time, man. One Piece greatness. Kozuki Goatden, man. Flipping greatness.